Hi guys, and welcome to today's makeup video where we are going to be doing a classic holiday inspired makeup look featuring this bold bright red Rudolph lippie. It's super beginner friendly because we're going to be using only really eyeshadow to achieve this wing shape here, the smoky wing in the outer corner. And we're going to be using the tape technique or tape method to really achieve this flawless, straight, harsh line here at the outer corner. So don't feel like you need to run out to Sephora or your local drugstore and pick up a bunch of products to achieve this look. Really, all you need is some type of tape. You're gonna need a few different shades of eyeshadow, the black, the white, and a couple shades of brown. And just follow the technique and the tips that I give you in today's video, and I promise you won't go wrong and you'll come out looking gorgeous, glam, and feeling ready to rock whatever holiday party or festivity you have planned coming up for 2019 holiday season. So guys, I hope that you really love and enjoy today's holiday inspired makeup look, and that hopefully you learn a couple things along the way. Leave your comments down below as to what you have planned this year. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like how today's look turned out, and if you're down for more beginner friendly and easy to achieve makeup looks. Also be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you do like beginner friendly videos, because starting in 2020 we're going to do a new series here on the channel called Back to Basics. We're going to kick it off with a back to basics on how I do my brows 3 different ways. And if I don't see you again before the new year, no matter where you live across this crazy continent, happy holidays from me to you, and I'll see you on the next one. Now, to start off this classic holiday eyeshadow look, we're going to prime our eyelids. And to do that, we're going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow priming base. Using this as an eyeshadow primer base before we go in with any shadows on the lid is going to ensure that they really stay locked and loaded all day long. This eyeshadow primer is nice and opaque, so it's going to also cancel out any of that redness or veining that I have on my eyelids before we go in with any shadow on top. Just dot this product all over your eyelids, and you can see that a little bit goes a really long way. And just blend it out with the warmth of your fingertips all over your lids, and even out here in the outer corner of your eye and in the inner corner of your eye. So you can see here that that Anastasia Beverly Hills primer really provides a bright white canvas for us to go in with any shadows over top, and it really does a great job at canceling out any redness, any veining there on the lids. Now I'm going to set that eyeshadow primer in a couple of areas, mainly here under the brow and here in the inner corner of the lid where I want it to be bright. So I'm going in with my face setting powder. This is Wet n Wild's Photo Focus Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm using some of that face setting powder on a Sephora shadow brush. This is a Sephora number 25, just a flat shadow brush. But I'm basically just dipping that brush straight into the setting powder, tapping off the excess, and then I'm gonna set right underneath of my brows, and here in the inner portion of my eye, underneath of my brow, and right here as well in the inner corner of my eye. Just dust away any excess or any fallout, and do the same thing on the other eye. Now, the next part of the makeup tutorial before we go in with any of those eyeshadows is to put down a little piece of tape right here at the border of the eye, where the outer corner meets pretty much the tail end of my brow there. And to do that, you can use any tape you have. I'm using some Gorilla Glue tape actually, and don't be scared, don't be fearful. I'm not gonna rip my eyes off or cause 10 years of aging, because what I'm gonna do is take off a piece of this tape and stick it to the back of my hand a couple of times to remove that excess tackiness. So it just needs enough stickiness to cling to the skin so that whenever we go in and blend out eyeshadows, those eyeshadows are not going to skip or budge or transfer underneath of the tape. So take off some of your tape and cut it to be small enough to fit the outer corner of your eye there. And then once it's nice and small to fit the outer corner of your eye, just stick it on the back of your hand a couple of times to just remove any excess tackiness. And then you can go in and size that up here to the outer corner of your eye. So place it wherever you can imagine, extending that wing out. We want it to be in a line where the black shadow is going to connect from the bottom lash line here up and out in a wing type shape. So just imagine the perfect wing shape for your eye that's going to extend from the outer corner of your lower lash line up and out towards the tail end of your brow. And place the tape down there, making sure it's nice and sticky. So I think that placement looks pretty good for me, so I'm going to go ahead and go in on the other eye. And we're gonna try to lay these pieces of tape down in the same angle as the other eye so that we have nice symmetrical wings when this is all said and done. So that is the great thing about using this tape method. It's easy to get both sides nice and symmetrical, and you don't have to worry about blending down. You can blend down as much as you want, and none of that shadow is gonna get down past that tape. So when we take those pieces of tape off at the end, it's gonna be so satisfying. There's gonna be a beautiful, straight, clean edge, and we won't have to go in, hopefully, with any makeup remover. Next, for the shadows that we're gonna be using on the lids to create some depth and dimension for this holiday classic eye look, we're going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Norvina collaboration palettes, both the volume 1 and the volume 3. And we're going to be using the white, brown, and black shades in the palette. So don't feel like you need these ones in particular to achieve this holiday look. You can use whatever shades that you have in your makeup collection. You could even just use your face setting powder, a couple shades of brown, maybe your bronzers, and then a black eyeshadow, and you'd be good to go. Before we go in with any eyeshadow, I think I want to put this hair up because it just keeps getting in my face and in the way. So like I said, use whatever you have in your makeup collection at home, but I'm just gonna use a black from the ABH Norvina Volume 2 palette. There's also a black in the Volume 1 palette, but this one I've used actually less frequently, so I'm gonna use the black in it. Taking that shade E5 on my number 11 Pro Smudger brush from Sephora, and I'm gonna start to smudge it close to my lash line here on the outer corner of the eye, and I'm gonna bring it up here in a wing type shape. So first just stamp the product down here on the outer corner of the eye and bring it up in a wing type shape, hugging it close to that tape and blending it even over top of the tape, just using it as a guide. Now I'm just going to blend that black shade out with our Morphe E36 brush. This is a nice small synthetic blender brush. And I'm just gonna blend it all out to really diffuse those edges. Being careful not to blend it up too far, really keeping it true to where we originally applied it. We just wanna soften up the edges and the perimeters of that black shade. And then I'm going to take another small synthetic blender brush. This is another Morphe E36. And I'm going to take a couple of these warm neutral browns from the ABH Norvina Volume 3 palette. I'm going to mix shade B5 with D1 on that little Morphe synthetic blender brush. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to blend both of those shades right on the border of where the black shade stops. And I'm going to blend it downward. So I'm blending both of those shades down onto the black to create a nice gradient and blend of the two. Don't be worried if you're losing pigmentation from the black because we're going to go back in with more in a little bit. Just focus on creating a nice blend of the black and the brown together. And then really further blend and diffuse those edges once you have less product on the bristles of the brush. And then I'm gonna really blend and diffuse those edges of those brown shades we used with A3 right here. Again, tap off the excess of that shade and further blend and diffuse. Ooh, it's more pigmented than I thought. Now I'm going to go back in with some of the white to lighten up the edges on this little blender brush. This is my e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush. The white is from the Norvina Volume 1 palette, and we're gonna lighten up and diffuse those edges of the brown. And I'm just buffing and diffusing that shade over top of the browns to give it a really diffused, blended look, and so that it's not so harsh and dark. All right, now I have this left eye all caught up to where we were with the right eye. Now, because we did lose a little bit of that black pigmentation from the eyeshadow we applied originally there close to the lash line from blending and diffusing it out, we're gonna go in with a little bit more on the same Sephora Pro Smudger brush and keep it very close to the lash line. And essentially, we're using this as if it were eyeliner, just to create more dimension very close to the lash line. Now let's blend that out one last time. And this time we're trying not to blend too much because we don't want to lose the pigmentation of the black. Just enough blending to soften up the edges and make the black look even further diffused. There you can see the difference between the two eyes from going in a second time with more black as opposed to not. You can go as soft or as dark as you want with this holiday eye look. You can really add more black to make it more nighttime, more vampy, more glam and dramatic, or keep it lighter with the brown shades only to make it more daytime appropriate. So if you find that you applied too much black, you can always blend and diffuse it out into the browns to create a softer look. So we're gonna do the same thing on this eye. We're gonna deepen and darken it up with more black and more brown. So now guys, we have both eyes done. We've blended out, we've diffused to create this ombre blend of black to brown to white. And we've created that ombre in a wing type shape to mimic winged liner, but we didn't have to use any liner to do so. So now I'm just gonna bring a bit more of that warmth up into the crease, because when I'm looking straight on at you now, not a lot of that warmth is peeking through up in this area, and that's fine with me, but I want to bring a little bit more warmth in there. So I'm gonna mix the white shade with the lightest brown shade, create a cocktail of those so I get a really light skin tone shade. So there I have the combination of the white and the tan on my brush. I'm gonna tap off any excess and blend that up here in the crease a bit more. Still keeping true to that wing shape, but I just want more of that tan all throughout this look. Same thing on this eye. So this is looking exactly how I want it to right now. Now we can go ahead and remove these pieces of tape. Ready guys? Ready to see some magic? That is why I love using tape, because you get this flawless, sharp edge as if you spent hours doing your eyeshadow. Now I've just taken a little bit of makeup remover to remove any of that black fallout that was on my under eye area. And I'm just gonna take a little bit more on a Q-tip to make sure that wing is perfectly clean, perfectly straight. So I'm using a little bit of my Garnier Micellar Water, and I'm just gonna use this on a Q-tip to clean up the under eye area and make sure that that wing is as sharp and fierce as possible. Now that we've cleaned up all of that black shade that fell out on our under eye area, we're ready to do our face makeup routine. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that off camera today, and then we'll be back to finish up this classic holiday eye makeup look with the eyes, with the lashes, with the lip. So guys, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I've done my full entire face routine, a full coverage beat, and so now I'm back. I'm ready to finish up these eyes. So we're gonna continue to blend those same colors that we blended on the upper lid down here on our lower lash line. Starting off with the black, I'm gonna take the same black shade, go in with the smudger brush and just diffuse it and blend it out here on the outer corner, basically taking it from the outermost corner of my eye into the most side or lateral aspect of my iris there. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be too technical. It's really not that complicated. So again, use your smudger brush, go in with a little bit of black shadow on the tips of those bristles, Tap off the excess, and then we are going to go in and just connect the lower lash line with the upper lash line in that black there in the outer corner. Just like that. And this is what I meant by stopping it at the outer corner of my eyeball, the iris of my eye. We're really just hugging this product there on the outer corner. Use that smudger brush to diffuse and blend it out a little bit. And then bring more of that black shade up onto the upper lid where we already applied some black, just to make sure that they are connected and that that black is nice and deep there, close to the lash line. Do the same thing on your other eye here. So really we want to keep this black shade out here on the outer corner only. This is going to tie in with the upper lid and that black we blended out in a wing shape there. And it's also going to accentuate the eyes in that cat wing type shape to give us a more catty, feline, fierce feel for this holiday eye look. Now we're going in with this nice small tapered end precision brush. This is an e.l.f. brush, and we're gonna diffuse out that black shade with a little bit more of those warm browns we used on the lid. So now we're going back in with the Norvina Volume 3 palette. Just use the warm neutral shades that you used earlier. Mixing A3, B5, and D1. All three shades that I used on my lid to get a nice combination of all of them there. Tap off the excess and blend starting from inner to outer corner. I'm stopping it about right here because I don't want to blend the black that's here in the very most outer corner down at all. That's gonna bring our eyes downward at the outer corner. We want to really keep them accentuated in this cat feline feel. So we're gonna keep it blended here, but stop that blending about right here so that we can keep this outer corner very sharp and fierce and brought upwards. And then to further diffuse this warm brown shade, we're gonna mix it with white to get a lighter tan beige shade and really diffuse that out further. So this is what your under eye area should be looking like right about now. We want to see that warm brown really buffed out and blended out here in the inner corner. And we want to see a connection of that black from the upper lid to the outer lid in that wing shape that's really accentuating the cat feline look of this eye. Go ahead and finish up your other eye so we can come back and finish up with lashes. Now, if you blended a little bit too much in any area, especially there in the outer corner of your eye, and maybe it's throwing off that fierce feline cat-like shape, maybe it's bringing your eyes down a little bit in the outer corner like what's happening over here, you can use this technique to really clean it up. You're just gonna wanna take your translucent or pressed face setting powder on a sponge that has a flat edge or any type of little eyeshadow brush with a flat edge, and pick up some of your powder, really load it up there on the edge of the sponge or the bristles of the brush. So what you can do here is really go in and bake underneath of the eyeshadow that you laid down if you want to clean up any lines. So as you can see here, it's already helped to clean up the shape of that winged eyeshadow that we have going on in the outer corner. And really you can leave this translucent setting powder there baking for as long as you want. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on to eyeliner. And I'm using my NYX gel liner and smudger in the black shade. I'm going to take this eyeliner and run it in my waterline here. And to do that, I'm using this little tiny e.l.f. synthetic eye brush. It's just the perfect size to apply cream liner in your waterline, and I use it so much it's broken in half. But I'm just loading up the bristles of that brush, and I'm gonna go directly into my waterline here, and I'm going to line the upper rim as well. You can see already the difference that tight lining your inner rim of the waterline makes on the intensity of this eye look. It just really draws in the eye a bit more and makes it look more dramatic and fierce and sexy. So let's do the same thing on our other eye. Now to prep for false lashes to finish off this holiday eye look, I'm gonna pop on some mascara. Use whatever mascara that you have in your collection. Really, this is just gonna serve to help blend our real lashes with the falsies, and it's gonna add some more drama and intensity, especially to the lower lash line. So just pop on 1 to 2 coats of your favorite mascara. Now for false lashes today, I'm going to use some by Kiss Lashes, and this is their style Teddy. They have a nice gradual taper from inner to outer corner that are really going to exaggerate and play up this cat eye. So I'm just going to pop on these false lashes and I'll be right back. Alright guys, now here we are with the lashes on and we get the full effect. Now these lashes are definitely dramatic, but I think I just need to give them a minute. I need to let them settle in, get acquainted with the rest of my face. So now that lashes are on, I just want to dust away this excess baking powder here. So just dust that away, and as you can see, it leaves us with a really clean, sharp line there at the outer corner. Now I want to bring back in the warmth of those shadows on the lid just a little bit more, just a tinge more, just so that they pop out against these false lashes. So again, I'm taking my e.l.f. detail crease brush and I'm gonna pick up more of those warm browns we used initially, and that would be shade A3 and B5. So take those 2 warm brown shades mixed on that e.l.f. detail crease brush and apply them here, mainly in the center of the lid, just where we'll be able to see them peeking through those lashes a little bit more. So basically right here. And then blend them up into the crease even further to diffuse them out. And then you can take a bigger, fluffier crease brush with nothing else on it. This is an e.l.f. crease brush, so just a little bit bigger version of what we just used, and blend everything out there at the perimeters just so that we have no harsh edges or lines. And I'm just going to do the same exact thing here on the bottom lash line in the inner corner and blend it out. I'm going to take more of that white creamy matte shade from the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette, again on this big e.l.f. crease brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to diffuse this here in the inner corner to give a bit more brightness to this eye look as a whole. Now I want to really disguise these false lashes here on the inner corner where I can see a little bit of the glue that dried, right here in particular, and so I'm going to take some of that gel liner on this little precision brush. This is a Morphe M250-1, and I'm just going to run some of that eyeliner right over top of the falsie band, and then I'll smudge it out so that you really can't tell that I even put anything else there. Now here you can see the difference that adding just a touch of black gel liner adds at really defining and accentuating the inner corners of this cat eye there. Just do the same exact step here on the left eye to really disguise that lash band and give more definition. To finish off this classic holiday eye makeup look, we're going to pop some inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. For my inner corner highlight today for this eye look, I'm going to mix a couple highlighting shades. I'm going to use my loose Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder. This is in the shade I'm So Lit, and it's a beautiful loose highlighter. It has a little bit of glitter in it, but it looks beautiful on the skin. It really lays on the skin in a natural finish, and it has a beautiful intense Mega Glow highlight. And so I'm going to mix that with one of their pressed Mega Glow highlighters in the shade Golden Tiara, which is a classic light gold, champagne gold shade. And together, this is going to lighten up the traditional gold I'm getting this everywhere. But together, the loose highlighter is going to lighten up this pressed highlighter formula and give me a beautiful pop in that inner corner. So that those highlights really pop, I'm going to wet my brush. This is a Morphe Y22. So I'm just going to wet it with my setting spray, and then also set my face with setting spray so that those metallic and shimmer pigments really hold on to not only the brush, but my skin whenever I go in. And let's pop this here in the inner corner of our eye. Really not holding back, I really want that inner corner to shine and pop. And do the same thing on the other eye. And as you can see, having that inner corner pop-up highlight really transforms this eye look and brings a lot more of attention there in the center of the eyes. Now just blend out the edges of that highlighter so that there are no harsh, intense lines, and so that you really can't see where the highlighter meets the shadow. Now I am really loving how this inner corner pop-up highlight is looking here on our tear ducts on the inner corner of the eye. So I'm actually going to apply more of that glitter cocktail to the rest of my face, to the tops of my cheekbones, and down the center of my nose and Cupid's bow. Now I am going to apply even a touch more of those highlighters here on my brow bone as well. I'm just falling in love with it here on my inner corner, and I want to apply it all over my face and chest, and so I'm finding any excuse in any area of my face that is untouched that could use a little highlighter to do just that. So what I'm going to do is take both of those highlighters again, it's this Mega Glow combination, and mixing the two of them, and I'm going to pop those on my brow bone using this dual-ended Urban Decay brush. Just be sure to again wet your brush so that you get the full pigment payoff of those metallic shimmery pigments. And pop that to your brow bone here. Then I'm just going to flip the brush over and use the other side to blend and diffuse it out. I did get some fallout there on my lid, which is not cute, but that's okay. We'll just blend that out and dust it off with a fluffy blender brush. There we go. Now no one has to know. Now that we are glowing and we have that pop-up highlight a little bit everywhere now, we can finish up this classic holiday makeup look with our lippie of choice. And today I'm choosing to do the classic holiday red. If you feel like red is too much for you paired up with this smoky winged eyeliner look, you can definitely opt to do something more natural, more nude, more suited to your skin tone. Any variation of nude would work for this look, but I can't skip out on the classic holiday red for today's makeup look. So I'm going to be using a red shade by ColourPop. This is their Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Ambush. I've actually never used this red, but it looks like the perfect shade for a classic holiday lippie. So I definitely went a little crazy with the overlining, and I'm gonna clean this all up with some concealer and a concealer brush. This is what happens every time I go in directly with a liquid lipstick. I just get carried away and I don't stay in the lines. So I'm using my concealer. This is the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. And I'm pairing that up with a Morphe lip brush. This is their B44, and I'm just going to use that to clean up the edges here where I went a little bit outside of the lines. Maybe one day I will have some lip augmentation. Maybe I'll get some lip fillers, but until then, I'm gonna keep on lining outside of the borders of my natural lips to give a fuller appearance. So guys, if you find that you get a little bit outside of the lines, maybe you struggle with a shaky hand, don't worry, you can always use your concealer and a flat little brush like this to clean up the edges. So here is what that ColourPop Ultra Satin Lippie in the shade Ambush looks like, fully applied to my lips. I think it is the perfect classic holiday red shade, and it looks beautiful with what we have going on the lids. So after you apply your lippie of choice, whether it be a bold red or a classic nude, this holiday eye look is all complete. It's the perfect makeup look to wear on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, any Christmas get-togethers or dinners or occasions with your friends or family that you have planned for this holiday season. This will be the perfect look to pair with any outfit. Definitely feel free to do as little or as much of the black eyeshadow as you want. The lashes in combination with that black shade are really what give this glam holiday look a lot of drama. So if you want to dial back on the black and just use some varying shades of brown and maybe skip the falsies, just go for some classic mascara and curl your natural lashes. That will also be beautiful paired up with this lippie for Christmas or any holiday party that you have planned this year. This is my take on a classic holiday makeup look. It has a little bit of a twist. We used shadows instead of using any type of eyeliner to achieve this shape on the eyes, which makes it really forgiving, really easy to achieve, and perfect for beginners. So give this video a thumbs up if you're a beginner in makeup and maybe you are really getting to know technique and maybe you want to see some back to basic videos, because that is a new series of videos that I will be filming here on my channel. We're going to be doing a back to basics on brows, which I've already filmed and will be coming out soon. That'll be the first installment of back to basics here on my channel, and then we'll follow it up with maybe a back to basics on various types of eyeliner as well as false lashes. So give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you are interested in those videos here on my channel. They'll be coming out soon. Just stay tuned and be sure to press the notification bell if you want to be the first one to be notified. Happy holidays, and I hope that 2019 will bring you nothing but happiness and joy and all of the success in the world that you have coming your way. So if I don't see you again until 2020, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and love you guys. See you on the next one.